Hey guys,
Frank.
we're here to celebrate
Celebrate who?
25 years. Look right there at the picture.
Oh, Father Eric.
Father Eric Andrews in one of his favorite cities, Knoxville, Tennessee. And one of his most joyous periods in his life. We're here to celebrate the big milestone. He and Gil were ordained the same day. Ron Franco was ordained a little later that year. And I think we need a little celebration.
Oh, okay.
It's called Nero d'Avola. And the thing about Nero d'Avola is it are grapes that come from Sicily. Because I know Father Andrews has some Sicilian genes in it. Dan, when did you first get to know Eric?
I think the first time I met Eric was when he was installed as president of the Paulist Fathers.
Oh,
While
what a glorious day.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I think I had tears in my eyes for a couple of reasons at that point.
I think it was after I joined. I don't think I knew Eric before I joined. The first memory I can think of, actually, he was in LA, Paulist Productions. I was at Novice in Portland. They flew me down for the weekend and got to hang out with them down there.
Okay, well, so California connection.
Yeah.
Okay.
He introduced me to Mark Wahlberg that weekend, too.
Oh, very nice.
After
Because
After
Mark
Mass.
is one of our great parishioners there.
Yes.
Everybody gets excited when it comes to the 5:15 Saturday Mass. Yes. And Chris, how long have you known Eric?
I met Eric in, it would have been Christmas of 2013 because he was producing New York Christmas to Remember
Oh,
at
yeah,
Mother
yeah,
Church.
one of the highlights.
And one of the folks in the audience passed out, and he and I met in the context of a very ill person in the Mother Church.
And you were saving a life.
I was merely accompanying. It was more a ministry of accompaniment.
Mere-
Yes. But Eric was showing us all how.
All right. Yeah, thanks to you guys. Now, I've known Eric since, I think it's 1987, when a fellow named Father Ray Rafferty said to Eric, who was at NYU and was interested in film and media and stuff, and also interested in the priesthood, check out the Paulist Fathers. And this kind of skinny fellow, who was from a place called Poughkeepsie, but still called himself a New Yorker, came to 59th Street and said hello. And that was my first engagement with him. But then I knew him a little later when he was in the seminary. He was with a great group of people, and we remember one of his good friends who was there with him, Father Paul Reynolds, may he rest in peace. And then I've known Eric since then. In fact, I was the one that sent Eric to his first assignment in New York City at 59th Street, where, because I figured anybody who could survive at 59th Street can survive anywhere. So, a little sip.
Cheers.
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 And we want to discuss
Cheers to you.
the Sicilian genes.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it
it's
is.
deep, it's intense. It's a great red wine. So, I think Eric's Sicilian genes give him two particular qualities. One is, and only a very few Paulists can do this, the ability to cry during a homily. And to do it and look sincere at the same time. It really is amazing
I'll drink to that.
how Eric can go right to the edge, and that shows you where his preaching comes from. He's so focused on the people around him and so focused on how he can give himself to those people. And the second thing that comes for the Sicilian genes, I think, is, and a few more Paulists can do this and cry, and that is the ability to sing during a homily. And how often, when it comes to singing, Eric goes back there and he pulls out some great Frank Sinatra, New York City kind of tune, and it just frames the thing so perfectly. So this shows really wonderful qualities of Eric to pull people together, to use his gifts to kind of help focus the situation, and to bring out what's going on in their lives, what's going on in his own heart. So, to the Sicilian and Eric, let's hear it.
Here, here.
Here, here.
Cheers. Cheers.
Now, do you think Eric is 100% Sicilian?
Question.
No, with a name like Andrews.
That's right. It's
Yeah.
not, it's not Andrini. No, it's Andrews.
He's
That's
got
true.
some scotch in him, I think.
He's got some scotch, yeah, and so from his father, I think Eric picks up. From his mother, I think Eric picks up the heart and the emotions and the song. From his father, he picks up. Well, he kind of picked up golf, but not as much as he should have.
Eric's a golfer?
Not as much as he should have. Eric plays golf on my level. Let's put it at that.
okay.
So,
Very high level.
yeah,
Very high level.
but
High
I've seen him play. But more than that, his father was kind of an organizer in the town, a town manager in Pleasant Valley, somewhere north of the Bronx. And I think from there, Eric picked up some very good administrative and leadership skills. One of Eric's amazing skills, which I've seen operate at some key times, especially during John Duffy's second term, is he was on the council then, and we were doing a lot of thinking about strategic planning and what we were going to do in terms of smaller number of Paulists and less money that we had for resources, etc. But whenever there was an argument framed on the council, Eric had the ability not to make it I win, you lose, or you win, you lose, but to try and develop a win-win strategy so that everybody felt that they had a part in the decision and everybody felt that they were part of this moving forward. And I think that's been an enormous gift that Eric has brought all through his priesthood and has particularly brought to his ability to lead the Paulists, which I would say being president of the Paulists,
What do you think about that?
how can I talk about this? So, my successor, John Duffy, good friend of mine, would always say to me earlier in our lives that he was lucky. He could go to the casino, he could go to the racetrack, and he wouldn't lose. He would come out better. And so I said to him one day after he was elected president of the Paulist, I said, John, for somebody who's always so lucky, how is it that you got elected president of the Paulist Fathers? So I think it's an opportunity to give oneself at a special level for the love of the community. And it isn't always fun, but you can make it look like fun. And Eric has, for the most part, made it look very good. The things that he's brought us together to talk about, the forward-looking vision and how we look now, not at the past and how we fight about things in the past, but how we look going forward and how we kind of coalesce around things going forward. So this is a great achievement, and an achievement which we should salute.
Cheers. Cheers.
Eric, 25 years, we salute everything that you've done for us, and we're going to close with a Sinatra song, are we?
Oh,
Yay. We should bring it.
La 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 la.
I've done it my way.
And now the end is near,
And so I face the final curtain. My friend, I'll make it clear. I'll state my case, of which I'm certain. I've lived a life that's full. I traveled each and every highway, and more, much more I did. I did it my way.
Thank you, Eric. God bless you. 25 more and even more than that.
Here, here.
Happy
Here,
25.
Cheers, cheers.
Congrats.